Hey folks, I just want to remind you to check out my eBay store at seemsgoodmagic.com for some playsets and singles. I also want to remind you to check out live stream times, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Central Time. And also follow us on Twitter at seemsgoodmagic. Thanks, and enjoy the video. Hey guys, Alex from seemsgoodmagic.com here for Theros Swiss Draft. Got Hero's Downfall. It's pretty awesome rare. Worth a lot more in real life than it is online. But yeah, we're going to take Hero's Downfall. Pretty good removal spell. Also have a Gray Merchant in here. How much is Hero's Downfall worth online? Oops. Did the wrong Heroes. Hero's Downfall. Worth just 2? Really? It's kind of surprising. 3. Probably more. Alright. Well, it's a Swiss draft, so I'm going to take the money card. Otherwise, Gray Merchant's probably just the better pick. Lets you do more direction like that. Not passing anything else too crazy. I'm a big fan of Warrior's Lesson and the Ordeals now. Just, wow, actually, triple Ordeal pack. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, otherwise I think just Gray Merchant's probably the pick, but that's okay. Okay. Follow-up pick. We've got Lightning Strike. We've got Horizon Chimera. Both good. I like green-blue. I like Lightning Strike a lot. You know, I'm big on the aggro white-red deck, so I might just want to take the Lightning Strike. I like white-red heroic when possible. And Lightning Strike is pretty solid removal and kill spell for players as well. So I think we're going to take the Lightning Strike over the Chimera, which is presumably a better card, just not the route I like to go as much in Theros drafts anymore. So let's take the Strike. Okay. Well, get a pretty good pick here. We're going to take the Skull Cleaver. Cutthroat Maneuver is good as well. And Leon and Snarecaster, pretty good, but let's take the Skull Cleaver. Who knows? Maybe we can even make a Minotaur tribal deck with like Kragma Warcaller or something. We'll get past a Rage Blood Shaman. Go deep. Okay. Here, pretty easily, Two-Headed Cerberus. Continue down the red path. Sip of Hemlock is good too, but I actually like the Cerberus quite a bit, especially if we get some red pump. So let's go Cerberus. Okay, now we have God's Willing, Spark Jolt, and Flamespeaker Adept. Flamespeaker Adept's pretty good. There's also Tormented Hero, so we could try and go black-red aggro with the Hero's Downfall. You know, I'm not terribly opposed to that. I just prefer white, but white could also be getting cut. So, yeah, it's debatable. This is one of the few black heroic cards. And it is, I mean, it's fairly aggressive. It's a 1-drop, 2-power guy. I could see that being good. I'm just missing out on Flamespeaker Adept and Spark Jolt. Not like the end of the world. Alright, let's go for the Tormented Hero. We might be able to make black-red aggro work. Well, this is helping. Let's take the Marauders. Definitely. Alright. Black-red aggro, maybe. Let's see if we can make this work. Alright, pretty good choices here. Deathbellow Raider, who's a Minotaur, as well as a guy who's able to regenerate. Spearpoint Oread, Coordinated Assault, and Baleful Eidolon. All very good. I think we got to go for the Assault. Triggers multiple instances of heroic, as well as being an excellent, excellent combat trick in general. I do like Deathbellow Raider, though, and Spearpoint, and Baleful. They're all good. But we're going to take the Assault. Wow. Second Minotaur Skull Cleaver. Pretty happily taking that. Passing Fellhide Minotaur and Spearpoint Oread, both good, but Skull Cleavers for days. So it looks like we're the 3-drop hasty deck. Interesting. Alright, here pretty easily taking the Boon of Erebus. Combat trick, pretty amazing with Two-Headed Cerberus. And other heroic cards like Tormented Hero. Alright, Table the Portent. People don't like this card. I'm really surprised. People have been saying I'm overvaluing it. I have to strongly disagree. I think Portent's awesome. You always want a steal creature effect, especially in a set that has monstrosity creatures. I just don't really see how you can argue against this card. Wow. Definitely taking the Cutthroat Maneuver over the Satyr Rambler. This card's awesome. So really happy to get that. Another card that double activates Heroic as well as serves as a combat trick and life gain. Card goes way deep. Alright, we could take a second Boon of Erebus. I actually have to kind of debate this. Dark Betrayal is a very good sideboard card. But how likely is it that I'm using multiple instances of Boon? You know, it's possible. I'm going to take the second Boon here. And then we're good on boons after that. Alright, I guess we could potentially sideboard Demolish. Not likely to play Messenger Speed, but might as well cut red. Alright, so we're off to a fairly interesting start. Looks like we're doing some sort of red-black aggro deck. Definitely going to be needing some earlier creatures here if we're going to make the aggro work. But as far as tricks and removal, doing pretty good, I would say. Hero's Downfall, Lightning Strike, Double Boon, Coordinated Assault, Cutthroat Maneuver. A lot of good stuff. So, yeah, black-red typically don't do it. But like I said, the Minotaur, it'd be cool to make some sort of Minotaur tribal deck, if that could happen. Wow. I mean, Abhorrent Overlord is very good, but I think we probably just want the Grey Merchant. I mean, this card is good. I'm not going to say it's not good, but I think Grey Merchant's just more in line with what we want to do. We want to be aggro, so we want to, you know, just play something and have it deal damage, punish your opponent. And Abhorrent Overlord, though it does take games over at 7 mana, it's just a bit pricier than what I want to pay. And Read the Bones is very good as well. Borderland Minotaur, Dragon Mantle, I'd be happy to play all of those cards, but I'm just not going to pass a Grey Merchant. No siree. No siree, Bob. Let's take that Grey Merchant. Okay. Not much here for us, so I think we're just going to go with the Temple of Deceit. Not that we're, you know, we are going to play it, but obviously we don't really need the blue. It's just, it's nice having a Scryland. And I don't think it slows you down too much, so yeah. Not really passing much of anything. Spark Jolt, but it's okay. Okay, I can take the Ordeal here. There's also Portent of Betrayal and Lash of the Whip. I think we can probably go with the Ordeal. Very good on the Tormented Hero. I guess Return Phalanx. A little more playable with the Temple of Deceit, but that's okay. Last time we tabled the Portent of Betrayal. Is it going to happen again? Most likely not, but that's okay. Let's take that awesome Ordeal. Alright, Deathbellow Raider, Lash of the Whip, Priest of Ioraeus. Not very good in this deck anyway. Let's take the Deathbellow Raider. I said we needed earlier creatures. Plus we have the double value of actually being able to regenerate this card in our deck. Lash of the Whip would be nice though. But I'm not going to complain about getting cheap guys. It's what I wanted. Okay, now we have Blood Toll Harpy, Fellhide Minotaur, Spearpoint Oread. I think we're taking the Harpy. Still need more creatures. This one happens to be evasive and punish our opponent's life total. So all good things. Colossus of Akros, a little bit pricier than what I'm looking for. And once my opponent gets it, I guess I'm kind of dead, but that's okay. Hopefully I beat them before they get to 8 mana. Oh, wow. Good choices here. Alright, well, Ordeal, Emissary, Titan Strength. I really want this Titan Strength, but I'm not going to take it over the Perforos's Emissary. We're still short on creatures, and the red Emissary is one of the best ones. So, very punishing. Yep, we're going to take it. Alright, wow. Got that Arena Athlete. That's amazing. So, Arena Athlete, perfect for this deck already. Always love to get this card. Okay. A Crone Crusader is a cheap guy. Works very well with pump spells, but there's also Titan Strength. I think we want more Heroic. We're actually going to have a hard time finding Heroic in general, and we have all this targeted pump stuff right now. So I think I do want the Crusader. I mean, I do want Titan Strength too. It's so bomb with two-headed Cerberus. But we already have double Boon, which kind of is similar to Titan Strength. So let's take the Crusader. Okay, Borderland Minotaur, Read the Bones, second portent. Let's take the Read the Bones. I could see that being useful. Drawing cards is usually very good. Okay, Spark Jolt or Loathsome Catablopos. Let's take Spark Jolt. Alright. Turn Phalanx Tabling, why not? Not likely to play it, but if we have to. Flamecast Wheel, maybe for sideboard. I've sideboarded it before. It's not that good, I know, but occasionally it does things. Alright, this deck's really coming together. Wow. Borderland Minotaur or Fellhide Minotaur. Alright, Fellhide's going to work better with the Grey Merchant, but I think Borderland's just a better card. Plus, we could... I don't mind getting another 4-drop. He's just more bang for your buck. This deck could really use a red Fanatic. I think that would go a long way in here. Alright, potentially play the Bronze Sable. Not likely, though, but we'll see if we're short on creatures. First cut from the deck is probably Spark Jolt. Maybe one of the boons. Now that we have Read the Bones and 2 boon of Erebus and Blood Toll Harpy, we actually have quite a few cards that punish our life total. Oh, man. I'd like to take Anax and Siamede, but just don't think that's a logical scenario. Alright, I think we want the second Lightning Strike. I do really like the Marauders a lot. But Lightning Strike is removal, plus it punishes, you know, opponents' life totals, and just the more Lightning Strikes, the merrier, in my opinion. Always nice to have that option there. But no doubt, I mean, Mogasi's Marauders is sick too. It's just, Lightning Strike is so awesome for these kind of decks, where you're just hyper aggressive. Admittedly, Grey Merchant doesn't look great in here, but he's still really good. Alright. So we have Scourge Mark. We have I don't think we're taking a boon or another Read the Bones. We already have enough cards that punish our own life totals. Could take the Akroan Crusader. We have Cutthroat Maneuver and Coordinated Assault. So a lot of means to pump them. Dragon Mantle's also good. We already have so much stuff that triggers Heroic. Let's just get another Heroic guy. Go super deep on that. Maybe table a Dragon Mantle or something. Jeez. Celestial Archon for real. Alright. Cavern Lampad, Sip of Hemlock, Crone Crusader. I think we're just taking the Lampad over the third Crusader. This card's awesome. Really lets you get in there. Probably table the Portent again. I do like Sip of Hemlock, but it's a little expensive for what we're doing. Wow. Alright, Fire Drink Crusader. It is. Hyper aggressive card, happily. Oh, wow. Kragma Warcaller. We do have 1, 2, 3, 4 Minotaurs, so that would be our 5th one. That's good, but Satyr's just too much potential damage for what we're trying to do, for sure. We can really get aggressive. None of these cards are super relevant for us. Let's take the Prowler's Helm. I don't think we're likely to play it, but I'm leaving that option open. Alright. Definitely taking Erebus' Emissary here. Awesome card. We're really getting hooked up. Wow. Third Minotaur Skullcleaver. We are deep, guys. We are deep. Let's cut Spark Jolt. Let's take Skullcleaver. Not likely to play Rambler anymore. Let's take the Peak Eruption for sideboard. Which actually, if you saw my last draft video, or not the one where I got my butt kicked in the 8-4, but the one before that where I pretty much won game 3 on the back of a Peak Eruption. So it does things sometimes. We have to make quite a few cuts in here, so I'm going to have to think about that. Brown Sable's out, I think. Maybe not playing both Akroan Crusaders. Maybe not playing both Boon of Erebus. Lot of solid options to weed through. All right, Table Disciple of Phalanx. I don't even know if we're gonna run it. I don't think we're running Flesh Mad Steed either, though. We've just got too many good options. Too many good options. All right, let's take the Disciple. It actually works better with the Gray Merchant. I don't think we need a second Read the Bones. Do we need a Scourge Mark? I mean, we probably have enough Heroic to make a second Scourge Mark work. I just don't think we're playing a second Read the Bones. And if our opponents play it, they're kind of punishing their own life totals, so let's take the Scourge Mark. It actually does build Devotion for Gray Merchant. Did table the Portent. Geez, this is tough. I really am going to have a hard time making cuts in this deck because I think there's so many good options in here. Alright, let's take the foil, whatever. Choices for cuts. It's a good question. It's going to take some figuring out. Definitely cutting some 4-drops. Probably one of the Portent's main deck. Maybe both. I mean, and the Disciple, possibly. I could see something like that. Maybe even the Borderland Minotaur. And then still need to make 3 cuts. So maybe 1 Boon, 1 Akroan Crusader. Maybe the Scourge Mark. I don't know. Something like that. It's kind of funny that the equipment didn't really do that much in this format. I mean, it's played occasionally, but it just never really did too much for people. Just kind of unexciting. Even though they looked fine. I thought when the set first dropped, I thought they looked fine. A lot of powerful cards in here. A lot of speedy, powerful things going on. Oops, not demolish. For now, let's just put 1 Portent in. Maybe not the Minotaur. 1 Boon. Maybe not the Scourge Mark. Still like Cutthroat Maneuver a lot. This is 25. Can I run 16 lands in here? I don't know. If you count these as their bestow costs, we're looking at some 6 drops, 7 drops. So I guess we can run 17 lands. We have some mana sinks, and we've got some draw cards. So let's play 17 land. I think that's appropriate. All right, so we need to make 2 cuts. Let's separate out our creature and non-creature. Hmm. 16 creatures is a pretty good count. Like, I almost want to cut some of these, but all of these are good too. And obviously, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 things that target my heroic guys, so I guess I could cut 1 Crusader. And then why don't we get it? Maybe we do. Do I do 16 lands? I just don't know. I like all of these cards so much. I think they're all very good. Like I said, Portent is so devastating sometimes. And this is so good for triggering heroic. Lightning strikes are obviously insane for getting in there. We don't really have a lot of cheap creatures. I guess that is an issue. I mean, the cheap creatures we do have are very good. But we really don't start grinding out the creatures until like turn 3. It's tough. Tough deck to make. I mean, I admit we don't have that much for Gray Merchant, but even if he's just a 5 mana, 4 life swing, you know, 2 to them, you gain 2. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things that interact with Gray Merchant. I mean, it's not terrible. It's certainly enough to win with it. I really don't feel like cutting any of these cards. I really like how all of this looks. And I even want this Crusader to work, but I don't see any way to realistically make that happen. Because Two-Headed Cerberus is still very powerful. With Boon, Coordinated Assault, Ordeal, Cutthroat. I don't really feel comfortable going 16 lands, but like I said, it is possible. It's just, if we ever get screwed, it's going to be awful. And we do have card draw. And we have some mana sinks, right? The Satyr. These things are definitely mana sinks in the late game. I don't want to hurt my mana base because this deck looks so good, but God, do I need to make a cut or do I want to try 16 lands? That is tough. That is tough. I just don't want to cut anything. I think I'm gonna go 16 lands. Let me look at the mana curve again. So we have 10 things we can do with 2 or less lands. 18 things we can do with 3 or less lands. God, that's pretty good. Alright, I'm going to try 16. Might be a little greedy. I cannot for the life of me cut any of these cards. They all look so good. I mean, you could argue Portent, but in a deck like this that's this aggressive, this card's just going to win games. This card's going to be like, oh, okay, steal your guy, win. Let's look at the color again. Alright. They want to do even split. Guess I do need double black for that and this, but I think I'd still rather do 9-7. Although, I mean, I need both early. I think I mean, just looking at this, I definitely need red more than I need black early. Alright, we're going to do a 9-7. I could have potentially really hurt this deck by doing 16 lands, but I mean, we do really honestly top out at 5. We can play 18 cards of our deck with 3 or less lands. We can play a fourth of our deck with just 2 lands. That's pretty good. It's good enough. A little bit of card draw here. So just sort of got to hope that we see at least a couple lands every game. But all right, I'll see you around one.